Hey guys, it's Kinetic back to get a start on the 2027 season with the Michigan Wolverines Dynasty. So just a quick run through for those tuning in for the first time. We are on the going into the fourth season of this dynasty. We are using custom uh, conferences. I can't show them right now. Yeah, we can. Here we go. Conference standings. They are set up for more region-based. So, quick run through. Now, these were originally based on the custom conferences that Bordeaux and another YouTuber who I cannot remember his name right now, and I don't mean to disrespect him. I can't remember his name, or I'd give him a shout out. They originally posted something similar to this. I don't know, about 4 or 5 months ago. I played around with it, moved some teams around where I personally liked it, but the first idea came from them, and a lot of the conference names that I'm using for them came from them originally as well. But it's all region based. I like this because it makes more sense to me when all the schools are closer to each other and in the same area. It utilizes all 10 conferences. It makes it easier for smaller schools to be able to advance and grow when they're in conferences that have better prestige. But there's the power teams are spread out, so there's room for them at the top of the conferences as well. So I've seen a lot of really good growth in these teams. If you look at them, a lot of them are the teams that are normally not in the 80s are. Like East Carolina, for example, made the playoffs last season, and they are in a conference with Clemson, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Virginia Tech, NC State, teams that generally are seen as better overall. App State, you can see, is there. Wake Forest is an 81 overall, Liberty an 82. So these teams are growing. So real quick, just to run through the conferences. I did this in the first year video. We'll do it here again real quick. So the ACC, that is the South Appalachia Conference. This is going to be your mid-East Coast area, the DMV, the Virginias, the Carolinas mostly. So we got Clemson, East Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Virginia Tech, NC State, Duke, Old Dominion, Coastal Carolina, Liberty, James Madison, Wake Forest, App State, and Charlotte. The American Conference is the Yankee Athletic Conference. This is going to be your northeastern East Coast teams. This is going to be Penn State, UConn, Pittsburgh, Boston College, Maryland, Syracuse, Buffalo, Rutgers, UMass, Temple, Army, and Navy. The Big 12, this is the Southwest Outlaws Conference. The name is still a work in progress. I haven't been able to come up with anything better, but it is what it is. This is basically the teams that are physically in Texas and Oklahoma. So we've got Houston, Baylor, Texas, Tulsa, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Rice, Texas Tech, SMU, UTEP, TCU, Texas State, Oklahoma State, Sam Houston, North Texas, and UTSA. The Big Ten, this is the Great Lakes Athletic Conference. These are the schools that are the closest geographically to one of the 5 Great Lakes. So we've got Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Ohio, Toledo, Illinois, Miami of Ohio, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Kent State, and Akron. Conference USA is the Great Plains Conference. This is going to be the middle of America, north of Texas, Oklahoma, east of the Rocky Mountains, west of the Great Lakes, and that middle area. So west of Lake Illinois. I don't want to quite say west of the Mississippi because there are a couple teams that I think are east of it, but it's roughly that area. So the Great Plains Conference, we've got Iowa State, Kansas State, Northwestern, Iowa, Western Kentucky, Northern Illinois, Nebraska, Air Force, Kansas, Memphis, Missouri, and Minnesota. We have no independents. We have the MAC Conference. That is now the Greater Midwest Conference. This is going to be the teams that are East of the Great Plains Conference, it's going to be the teams that are north of Florida and Georgia, and west of the East Coast, south of the Great Lakes, that middle of the eastern half of the country. So this is going to be Cincinnati, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Kentucky, Purdue, Louisville, Indiana, MTSU, West Virginia, Bowling Green, Marshall, Vanderbilt, and Ball State. Mountain West Conference is the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. This is going to be the teams that are geographically in or close to the Rocky Mountain range. We've got Arizona, Colorado, Arizona State, Boise State, Utah, Wyoming, UNLV, BYU, Utah State, Colorado State, New Mexico, and New Mexico State. The Pac-12 is now the Pacific Coast Conference. It's self-evident of what that is. These are the teams that are going to be west of the Rocky Mountain Conference teams and along the West Coast. So we've got San Jose State, Washington State, California, Oregon, Washington, USC, Oregon State, UCLA, Hawaii, Nevada, Fresno State, Stanford, and San Diego State. All right. SEC, this is going to be the Deep South Conference. It's basically Georgia, Florida, and one Alabama team. So this is going to be Georgia, Miami, Georgia Tech, Florida, Florida International, UAB, Florida State, Georgia State, UCF, Kennesaw State, Georgia Southern, Florida Atlantic, and USF. The Sun Belt is going to be the Gulf Coast Athletic Conference. These are the teams that are kind of in between Florida and Texas and are on or close to the Gulf Coast region of the country. And that's going to be South Alabama, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, Louisiana, Alabama, Troy, Louisiana Tech, Ole Miss, Arkansas State, Mississippi State, Tulane, Jacksonville State, University of Louisiana Monroe, and Southern Mississippi. Alright, so that's a quick run through of the conferences. We, of course, are playing Michigan in the Great Lakes Athletic Conference. Preseason top 25, you can see, now we did win the Natty last season, and we lost a lot. We are currently ranked 10th in the top 25 polls. Quickly run through the preseason top 25. We got Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Clemson, Cincinnati, and Texas in the top 5. 6 through 10, we've got Kansas State, East Carolina, Houston, Iowa State, and Michigan. Then we've got 11 through 15, Texas, Penn State, Pittsburgh, South Carolina, Oklahoma. 16 through 20, we've got Baylor, Oregon, Washington State, Virginia, Wisconsin. And then 21 through 25, we've got Virginia Tech, USC, South Alabama, Arkansas, and California. Let's take a look at the preseason All-Americans that are projected to be good this year. So Arch Manning at Texas is projected to be the All-American quarterback. We got Jordan Marshall from Michigan projected as on the team. Let's see, Christian Clark, Aaron Butler, Bryant Wesco. We got Amarian Stewart from Michigan projected at wide receiver. Luke Reynolds, Jordan Seaton, George Eberle, Ben Roebuck on the offensive line from Michigan, Alex Burkmeyer, Jesse Perry, Devin Baxter, and Cam Brandt from the defensive line. Then there's Boubacar Traore, David Stone, Darian Gillette, Cole Sullivan, who is at middle linebacker for us this year, Chris Jones, Avian Terrell, Des Ricks, KJ Bolden, Jarrell Bruss is one of our safeties, is projected. And then if we go to the conference All-Americans, we've got a lot of them there. The only ones that are not are Mylan Graham from Ohio State, Nick Marsh from Michigan State, Emerson Mandel from Wisconsin, Ian Moore from Ohio State, John Ugwogbu, Michigan State, and Declan Dooley at Illinois. All right. So I don't really touch the schedules too much. I try to let the computer play it out. I do replace FCS teams, and I did move some teams around for scheduling purposes. We start the season at Coastal Carolina. I did add Tennessee in here in place of an FCS team. SMU, Baylor, and then we've got our conference teams will be going on the road to start conference play for the first 3 weeks of conference play at Ohio, Wisconsin, and Central Michigan. Then we'll be home at Akron. Then we'll be on the road at Illinois, Michigan State, and then we'll finish the season at home against Miami of Ohio and Toledo. All right, I've already got our board set up. We actually don't have a very big board. We going by team needs, we only really have about 13 or 14 players. The remaining players on here are just the players who I scouted who from 15 down that are athletes, hidden gems, or have exceptionally high stats that I have intention of utilizing on the team if we get them. But we're going to really be prioritizing these top 13 players because those are the actual team needs. Alright, let's jump into it. Let's advance to week 0 and get our recruiting hours set up on our baseline. Hopefully we don't get locked out of anybody here. We did. We got locked out of Tony Hart, a quarterback, which is fine. We didn't really need a quarterback this year, and like I wasn't even going to recruit a quarterback because we don't need a quarterback, and it's a very weak quarterback class regardless. I was only going to recruit this guy because he's an athlete, and he's got 91 speed, 91 acceleration, and I have a use for him at running back as a quarterback that can throw for Wildcat. So he wasn't even somebody that we really needed, so that's okay. Alright, so let's add the 5-hour baseline to each of our targets here. And a lot of our targets are actually ones that are going to be moved to different positions. For example, I've got 2 power rusher defensive ends that were very highly rated that I have intention of moving interior of the D-line. There's a outside linebacker or 2 that I have intention of moving to interior linebacker off ball. Stuff like that. Alright, so Corey Rugamba, we are currently 4th in his top 8, or top 10, excuse me. And let's load him up with hours. Alright, Manny Hull, we're currently 2nd on his board, he's in his top 10. Load him up with hours. Silas Romo, we're currently 3rd on his board in his top 10. Silas Romo is one of the ones that will be moved into interior defensive line if we get him. Emmanuel Gums is one that will be moved to interior off-ball linebacker. We'll go ahead and max out his hours. Calvin Griffin, hybrid safety, we're currently 5th on his board. He's in his top 8. And we will max out hours with him. Ray Harper, we're number 2 on his board in his top 10. Let's max out hours with him. And to be honest, we really don't need outside tackles, but there were a couple 5-star tackles that were interested in us, and so I still will recruit them. Henry Kirpikis, we are number 1 on his board. Hakeem Virgin, same deal with him as with Harper. Zach Gammon, we're number 3 on his board. And if we get him, he will be moved to interior line. Jabril Roby, sorry. And we are unopposed on Lamar Hendricks, so we're not going to load him up with hours unless somebody jumps in on his recruitment. But Enrique Byler, there is a lot of competition for, so we will load him up. Alright, now we're unopposed on Jeff Cummins, but there is some opposition on Braden Cooks. So let's add this extra 10 to Braden Cooks. Now there's not another 5 we can add there, so we will add that extra 5 to Vernon Adams. Alright, no game this week, so let's go ahead and advance. I guess I should have showed you my my current coach build as well. I can do that right here. Alright, so real quick, current coach build that I've got is, we've got Elite Recruiter, so we've got Tier 3 Recruiter on everything except Kicker Punter. I've got Tier 1 Elite Recruiter on everything except Kicker Punter. In Motivator, I've got Tier 3 on all but Kicker Punter. And in Program Builder, I've got the Relationship Builder upgraded fully and Tier 1 on Strong Roots. My next intention is to get into Architect. To do that, I need to spend 25 points in Tactician. So with the 10 that we spend to open it up, I'll add 3 tiers to the offensive line to hopefully increase the blocking ability of my offensive line. Or I could put it in the passing game and give a boost to throw under pressure and break sack. But I think, no, I think we'll just do the blocking to help increase blocking there. Although we could do D-line too, change of direction, pursuit, finesse move, finesse move and block shedding, power move and hit power. Could go there too. I don't know. We'll see how I feel when we get to that point. But yeah, so we'll see. But the point is to put the bare minimum in Tactician so we can open up Architect and get Tier 2 on each position. I think we'll be able to, I know we'll be able to get at least 5 of the positions to Tier 2. I don't remember if we can get, I tested it out, the build out once. I don't remember if we can get Tier 2 on running back or not. We will not be able to get it on offensive line, but that's fine because we don't get to, you know, really level up the offensive line during games with in-game goals as much regardless. So that's fine. But we will have it at least on these 5 and on running back, fullback if it allows us to. Alright, so let's check our recruiting board after we simmed through week 0. We did get locked out of Vernon Adams, unfortunately. That's not cool, but it's fine. Alright, so we have moved up to first on Rugamba's board, first on Hull's board, first on Romo's. We have moved up to third place on Gums, first on Griffin's, first on Harper's, first on Logan's, first for Capicus, first on Virgin's, first on Gammon's, first on Roby's. We're first and unopposed on Hendricks. We have moved up to second place on Byler's, first and unopposed on Jeff Cummings. Now we can put this extra 10 on Cooks. We can take these off and change it to 25 on Cooks. Alright, let's jump into our first game of the season. Oh, I guess I should go through our depth chart and our roster real quick for everyone, new and returning. So, had some interesting things come up in the off-season training between year 3 and 4. Last year, our starting quarterback was Jaden Davis. Actually, let me go back into roster because that way we can look at skill caps and stuff. So year 1 of this dynasty, we've had a different starter every year. Year 1 of this dynasty, our starter was Davis Warren. Year 2, so year 1 we recruited Tim Gossett, a 5-star quarterback. I had hopes that he would jump in and be the starter right off the bat as a true freshman. Unfortunately, he has not developed very well at all. You can see he's a 5-star. He had star development. I want to say he was even a gem. But you look at his skill caps, and his skill caps are not great. He's got 9, 10, 11, 12 skill caps. So he just has not developed very well. He's already maxed out on his Throw power, trucking, strength, stiff arm, and jumping. He's maxed out on his elusiveness, which affects his agility, break sack, change of direction, juke move, break tackle, and spin move. He could get better in his accuracies by a little bit, and he could get better on his IQ a little bit. He has one more that he can get better on health. His quickness is already maxed out, so unfortunately he just has not progressed the way that we hoped he would. So in year 2 we had Alex Orji. We did very well with Alex Orji, winning the national championship that year. The next year after Orji graduated, Gossett still had not jumped up higher than Jaden Davis, who had progressed to about where he's at right now. We ended up winning the Natty again with Jaden Davis. But you can see we go to Jaden Davis, and you know his skill caps, he doesn't have really any skill caps. He just hasn't really progressed much between year 2 and 3 for some reason. And in that same span of time, we had Lester Wicks, who was a true freshman last year and had redshirted in the off-season training, greatly surpassed Jaden Davis, which was a shock to me. He went from a 77, I think, to an 88. Now you can see why if you look at him here. He's a 5-star. He was a gem. He has elite dev trait, and he only has 2 skill caps. So he's still got a ways that he can upgrade as well, even as is. So he just leaped out ahead and just took the job from Jaden Davis following his redshirt year. He's got good mentals, he's got good physicals, so we're going to ride with the Lester Wicks train as the starting quarterback of the Michigan Wolverines. Jaden Davis will serve as the backup this year. Also waiting in the wings from the same recruiting class as Lester Wicks is Denton Kendricks. From Oxnard, California, also a redshirt freshman. Now he's a 4-star with impact dev, and you can see that he unfortunately does have a lot of skill caps as well, so unfortunately he will likely just be a career backup at Michigan. He'll probably end up transferring out at some point, which is fine. And then we did pick up Taj Kimbrough this last season. He is a 5-star with elite dev as well, so he'll likely be the heir apparent to Lester Wicks. If you look, he's got a few more skill caps than Wicks, but not nearly as much as the other 2. So he will probably be the one, the heir apparent after his redshirt freshman. I'm sorry, his redshirt season. He also has pretty good mentals and physicals. But because we don't have any quarterbacks in danger of getting drafted or graduating this year, I'm not going to really pursue a quarterback in the recruiting class here, because there weren't any good ones. There were no 5-stars. There were some 4-stars, but no one that really stuck out to me, so I wasn't going to invest too much into chasing one. At running back, Jordan Marshall, Micah Kaapana have both greatly progressed and grown. Jordan Marshall is a 94 overall, elusive back with platinum shifty, silver takeoff, and gold 360. He's got 97 excel, 91 speed. He has progressed in a major way, and I love to see this. Now, I hate that they have him as a 3-star here. He should be a 4-star, I believe. Actually, let me double check here. Hey Google, was running back Jordan Marshall a 4 or 5-star prospect coming out of high school?
Jordan Marshall was a consensus 4-star prospect coming out
So
of Archbishop
consensus 4-star prospect, and they have him as a 3-star here. I don't like that. But you can see he's got really good skill caps. He's only maxed out his elusiveness. There is room for growth in all the other stat categories. He's very good, very, very good. He's probably going to the draft this year, so I'm probably losing him. But then we look at Micah Kaapana, and again, Micah Kaapana was a 3-star, a high-end 3-star, and this game has him listed as a 2-star. Not very cool. But he still, regardless of that, has pretty good or decently good skill caps, and he's progressed. You look at his quickness; he's progressed all the way up. He's still got a lot of room to progress with route running, hands, elusiveness, IQ, and power. And I'm hopeful that we can convince him to stay and be our running back one next season. We also have two power backs that we recruited the previous season, Oscar Mormon and Kenyon Talib, who have shown up pretty well as redshirt freshmen, 80 and 83 overall, so I can't complain there. And then we've got Trevor Higgins, who actually was a transfer wide receiver, but we moved him over to running back. He's 5'9", 206, and I like having another receiving back there. Now we are giving him a redshirt season since he did transfer in. He missed one season, off season of training, so this will help him catch up. All right. So, fullback, we've got a redshirt freshman, Randy Silva. He is a converted tight end. Wide receiver, we've got Amarian Stewart, who has stepped up in a major way. You can see he's up to a 91 overall, 99 excel, 98 speed. So we can take a look. And he's another 3-star that has just jumped up in ratings. Skill caps are not the greatest, but they're fine with where they are, allowing us to get fully developed on elusiveness, quickness, IQ, and route running. Can still get a little bit better on his hands and power, but that's fine. And we actually are starting on the other boundary line, Rayshawn Talib. So if you notice, Amari Stewart here has platinum shifty, platinum takeoff, and silver double dip. And Rayshawn Talib has platinum shifty, bronze takeoff, bronze layout. They both have 99, 99, 99, 98 speed for Stewart, 99, 99 for Talib. So I want them on the boundaries. And our slot receiver is going to be a combination of Traylor, Griggs, and Micah Kapana, the running back. At tight end, we've got Emmett Hargrove, who has progressed decently up to an 88 as a redshirt sophomore. We've still got Brady Prescorn here and Ian Lipscomb. Offensive line, Andrew Sprague at left tackle, backed up by Duke Darling. Left guard, we've got Luke Hamilton, who was a tackle last year, but we kicked him inside. We are giving Alphagenus I'm still unsure if we should have him do a redshirt year. I mean, he's an 84 overall sophomore, so chances are you know what? I'm gonna take him off his redshirt because he's too good. Hold on, I need to fix that. He's too good to have do that. And that may make me have to reset our depth chart. Alright, so we'll just keep going through from here. So we got Alphagenus here and Dion Tubbs. We've got at center Ben Roebuck. We've got a redshirt freshman here, Bruce Crow, and then we've got Brian Pierce, redshirt freshman. Right guard, we've got Antoine Brown and Sammy Dragusevich, with two guys taking red shirts this year at right guard. Right tackle, we've got Dylan Kirkpatrick, a redshirt sophomore, LaMichael Root, and Shaquem Shaver. On the defensive line, we've got Devin Baxter on the left side, backed up by Duke Carew, a redshirt sophomore. Right end, we've got Lugard Edic Paye being backed up by transfer from Iowa, Carter Menz, with two guys taking red shirts. Interior D-line, Cam Brandt, Dom Nichols, and Nathan Coker with two red shirts, true freshmen. At linebacker, we've got Niles Allen, Rayshawn Heflin, and Shaden Wilkins. On the other side, on the right side of the linebackers, we've got Quentin Kaufman, George Bone, and Quincy Priester. Middle linebacker, Cole Sullivan, Jacob Oden, Broderick Robinson, MJ Johnson, who transferred in this season. And then in the defensive backfield, we've got Mason Curtis, Josiah Edmond at corner, with Derek Spitzer, Ellis Robinson IV, Devin Flowers, and Jared Rashall. Free safety, we've got Carl Madu and James Sepulveda. Strong safety, Jarrell Bruss, Dave Batista, and Anton Colon. At kicker, we've got redshirt sophomore kicker Juan Davis. And at punter, we've got redshirt freshman punter Gabe James. Alright, now let's jump into the Coastal Carolina game. Now this game originally was at our home, but I just like playing on Coastal Carolina's field, so that's what we're going to do. And as always, I just play the moments. I don't want to have full influence over winning
Welcome
games.
to Brooks Stadium, and a unique environment in college football, because when you see the teal field, you know the Chanticleers aren't far behind. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see, the number 10 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on a team from the ACC, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. 48 Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined.
All right, we're going in on third down, 3rd and 4. They're on our 4-yard line. Let's set our adjustments. All right, they're coming out with 4 receivers. Let's go dime 236
This
Will.
feels like 4-down territory, 3rd and short from the 40. Looking to throw, it's Hudson.
There we go. Got the sack. Edic Paye. Is that Edic Paye? Yeah, that's not Edic Paye, is it?
And all defenses talk about it. Sacks, tackles for a loss, affecting the quarterback the best way you can. The first drive of the game, already getting home.
No, Duke
Nice
Carew.
start
That's
for this
the young guy. He was one of our first commitments in the first season, I believe. Oh, you know what? I never redid the depth chart. Hold on, I got to redo our depth chart. I'll have to do it again when we get out of here. Unredshirting that dude really is going to screw up the depth chart. Hold on. Sorry, I just gotta fix this. I'm gonna have to fix it again if I can remember to when I get out of this game. And we can let Amari and Stewart play both ways. Alright, I gotta remember it was Capana, Stewart, Talib, Ellis, and Edmund, I believe. Let me double check that once I have them up here. I just want to put my fastest guys, yeah. Okay. So Capana, Stewart, Talib, Ellis. Where is he? Josiah Edmund. There he is. Alright, we got that, got that, got that. And this was... Okay. That's the way the depth chart should be. I'm going to have to do that again when we get out of this game. Alright, let's go. Let's try a 45 quick base here with Jordan Marshall. Oh, and I forgot to show at the start in the preseason, Jordan Marshall was preseason favorite for the Heisman. So I don't. The way I rotate backs, I don't think that'll happen. But
we've seen the Big Ten ACC challenge, and it'll be fun to watch this one on the football field.
I think this is going to be a real test of physicality. I know these are two conferences that pride themselves on that, going out and establishing the line of scrimmage. So David,
bumped the receiver, the receiver off of his route.
Have those measuring stick opponents. Like once we start getting deeper in the season and start having the comparison game, well, you have a matchup, a big matchup of a Big Ten school versus an ACC school. This will be used in the college football playoff criteria.
Looking for that first down on 30 short from the 28.
There we go.
Quickly
To lead. There we go. First down catch by Talib. I can't remember his first name. I think it was Rashawn Talib.
These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
And the Wolverines will snap it on 1st and 10. Give to the running back. Good pickup on that play.
6-yard run by Micah Kalapana.
Well, it's plays
Shout
like
out to
that
Micah and his dad, Keoki.
Stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook.
Jordan Marshall with a hole to run through. Gets it to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
He makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. The Wolverines have this offense rolling. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again.
6-yard run by Jordan Marshall. Wow, he's already injured? Come on, dude. What is going on? This is the first game of the season. Why is he already that torn up? Alright, I'm going to have to sub Capana in. There's the other Talib brother at running back. Jordan Marshall, I love you, man, but you are already done for this game. Can't have you getting injured again.
24.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
Quick pass to Mormon.
Got his man on the right. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. And the Wolverines are threatening in the red zone.
And we got Rayshon Tlaib gonna go here on the end around and see if he can get some break. And got around the edge. Does he have it? He does. Touchdown. Rushing touchdown by wide receiver Rayshon Tlaib. This guy's going to be a star for us.
They draw first blood, and that is exactly what you want to open the season with a drive like that. The proverbial rabbit out of the hat. Getting out of the Houdini-like blocks. Calling reverse and trickeration, and it worked.
It does, and it's frustrating because defensively you're thinking run, 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 and you're playing aggressive, and on that backside, man.
All right, let's see. All right, looks like we're in the red zone. A minute and 14 seconds left in the first quarter. 1st and 10 on their 19-yard line.
That chunk play has them in business, set up with a first
We
down
got
in the red
Oscar
zone.
Mormon in the backfield.
From the gun, running back on the move. And
Nice, powerful run there, 6 yards.
Pretty good yard.
It's really frustrating when you get a guy in his spot. He's in the hole. He's there to do his job. And you can't get the guy on the ground. That's your job. Get him on the ground. You know, especially a guy that's not a huge back. You got to make that tackle. You can't make it easy on the offense.
Got the first down. Took a big hit. Good job, Micah.
Up to 45 yards on the ground, and they wanted to have an identity as a running team, and he's giving them that in the season opener. A first
Give it to
down
Mormon.
run in the red zone.
And powers through a defender. I'm not sure he actually got across the plane with the ball, but I'm not going to argue with it. All right, looks like we're 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. Let's try a little trickery here. Micah Kayapana lines up in Wildcat. Can he get it? Can he get it? He did. Micah Kayapana with the running back. With the rushing touchdown. All right, we got 3rd and 4 on their 25-yard line. Let's try a little halfback screen.
Ball's at the 25. They're in field goal range, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and short.
Preferred to have Micah in for this play, but Mormon, and he didn't get it. Damn it.
Good. And it'll bring up a big decision. He just didn't have a chance to get loose and make his way to that first down marker.
And I think fans get upset sometimes. Like, run your route past the sticks so we get the first down. But nice job by the defense.
Okay, I hit the wrong button on that pass, but what was the flag? Pass interference? Okay, you know what? I'll take it. But that should have been an interception on my own mistake. So.
Could see all the contact as the ball was in the air.
I'm not going to argue with a free first down, though.
First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. The give from the gun.
Oh, nice block there by the tackle.
He'll take it all the way.
Oscar Mormon in for his first touchdown run of his career. Actually, that might not be true. All right, second. Okay, we've got a minute and 20 seconds left in the half. We're 1st and 10 on our own 32.
First down here for the offense. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Trying to find his man on first down. Steps away to find some room. Got him downfield. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
Nice catch and run by the tight end.
How electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
Fires to the middle.
Come on. He was covering the underneath guy.
Chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Bunch formation for these receivers.
Let's try it again.
2nd and 10. He'll throw again. Coming after him. They get to
There we go. There we go. I couldn't break away from the defender.
He's brought down,
To lead, man. I like this kid.
10, first and goal from the 8.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now. Having given up multiple first downs on this drive, somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the
Jet touch pass to
Little
Briggs.
touch pass to the
Get the
receiver.
block. Oh, come on. Oh, got the spin around him.
And a nice
Got it to the
solid
2-yard
there
line.
before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And these little touch passes, man, they're
Let's try
just
to
the
punch it in.
easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all...
Into the end zone he goes.
Nice. Run there by the other Talib brother. K. I can't remember his name. It's K. Starts with a K. Alright, 3rd and 8 on their 46. Let's try the slot post angle.
If they can convert here, that type of play
Alright,
can
so I'm looking at the
really give
comeback,
you a
I'm looking
shot
at the
of
post, I'm
momentum.
looking at the Texas route.
Back to pass, it's
Think
quick.
I got the comeback.
Hit as he throws.
Got it.
He's got an open
Amarian
man.
Stewart with the catch, first
They
down.
are-
First and 10 on the 20-yard line. Let's try something we couldn't
And
do
the
with
Wolverines are
Jaden
moving
Davis
quickly
last
down
year.
the field. Here comes the option.
There we go. There we
Now
go,
the
Micah.
toss.
Juke. Oh, he almost
And
got through
they'll
that
ride
hole.
him down, but not
First and
before he
goal at the
picks up
7.
the first down. And how about the timing on that pitch? Defense is backed up. Shadow of
Here
the
we got
goalpost
Mormon in.
trying
That's
to
a power
defend their own
back.
end zone. They'll keep it on the ground for first and goal.
Breaks that tackle. Just trucks through a defender to get into the end zone.
And the
Nice.
pummeling has started.
Touchdown, Michigan. All right, 4th quarter, a minute and a half left in the game. We're up 42-0. Let's just, or 42-3, excuse me. Chew clock on, and we're just, we're gonna try to convert here, but we're gonna just try to chew clock
Third and
as much as
long coming
possible.
up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Going for the big play.
Ah, come
And
on.
that ball is picked
That's
off.
on me, I guess.
Bringing it back. The 40. And on the interception.
And they scored.
The
But we
old
still won.
coaching cliche, go 1-0 every week. And for the first week, they get it done.
Yeah, great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. You're going to find things to work on throughout the season. But 1-0, that's where you wanted to be.
And I think if you're the coaching staff of this winning team, you've got to like what you've just seen. First game of the year, there was tremendous effort on the field. Guys flying around, flying to the football, trying to make the plays necessary to win this game. They definitely made a few mistakes, but that's what practice is for. But if you're the coaching staff, I think you're very, very positive right now moving forward.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Alright, let's exit out, advance the week, and see what pops up. Nice to start the year off with a win. Alright, we didn't get locked out of anyone. We see a lot of first places on there. That's always nice. We do have one of our tougher games this year with visiting Tennessee Volunteers. Let's check the recruiting board. Alright, so we're still first for Rugamba. Manny Hall has moved to top 5. We're first on his board. Let's see if we can get a visit scheduled here. Alright, we'll schedule that for SMU week, and we will sell him on brand exposure. And since we know his pitch, we will soft sell Workhorse. Alright, Silas Romo is ready for a visit. Schedule a visit. We'll schedule the defensive visit week for Baylor. Wait, is it? Hold on. Yeah, so that would be the defensive week. We know pro potential. We know brand exposure. We'll go with pro potential. Alright, we know it could be one of two here. So I'm just going to go with the one that we have the better grades on for him, with Workhorse. Alright, Emmanuel Gums, we are now in first place on his board. We're in first place for Griffin. We're in first place for Ray Harper, and he has cut to top 5, so let's get him scheduled for a visit. He'll come in SMU week as well. We know pro potential, we know championship contender. Let's go pro potential. And then let's see if we can do a soft sell here with pro potential and championship contender. So, okay, football influencer it is. Enrique Logan, we are first place on his board, and he has cut to top 5. Let's take off send the house. Let's schedule a visit. We'll schedule that for Baylor week. Championship contender. Let's see, yeah, that's the only one we know, so we're going to sell him on championship contender. And then we will soft sell the first one with championship contender and 2 uncovered ones. So that's going to be to the house. Alright, Henry Kirpikis, we are first on his board. He is cut to top 5. We will remove send the house. We will schedule a visit for Baylor week. We know championship contender, so we'll sell him on championship contender. And we'll try to find a soft sell here with championship contender and 2 uncovered ones. Alright, looks like Conference Spotlight fits that bill, so we'll do that. Hakeem Virgin is cut to top 5. We are top his board. Take off send the house. We'll schedule a visit. That'll be for SMU week. We know pro potential, so we'll sell him on pro potential. And we'll look for a soft sell here that has pro potential and 2 uncovered ones. Alright, Grassroots fits that bill, so we'll go with that. And put these, the 10 and 5 back on top. Zach Gammon has cut to top 5. We are number 1 on his board. Let's get him set up with a visit. Now I'm going to move this out to the bye week because I don't like having double competitive visits. So I'll do one, but I don't want to do more than one. We know brand exposure. We know athletic facilities, so let's sell them on brand exposure. And let's do a soft sell for Workhorse. We'll add the 10 and 5 on top. Jabril Roby, we're first on his board in his top 5. Let's take off send the house. Schedule a visit for SMU week. We know championship contender, pro potential, and program tradition. Let's go pro potential. And let's set up a soft sell with football influencer. And we'll add the 15 back on top. Alright, now we are no longer unopposed on Hendricks. So we got to recalibrate our board a little bit. So I need to take off the 25 on Cooks. And go 5 there. And I'm going to have to take off the 50 on Weiler. And I'm going to have to put 75 here on Hendricks. And we'll add this 10 onto Weiler. Because now Louisville has jumped into the mix with him. Alright, let's jump into this home game against Tennessee. Since this is a big time game, I'm going to put on our big game blues. Let's play the moments and jump into it.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Big House. This massive crowd assembled here today to cheer on the Wolverines, already chanting "Go Blue." Today it's a top 25 matchup. Two teams off to good starts, hoping to build on that and test themselves against another ranked team. As we'll see the number 18 team in the country, the Tennessee Volunteers, taking on the 9th ranked team, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Chris Fowler, joined here in the booth by Kirk Herbstreit. Kirk, let's get to the action on the field.
All right, we got a big first quarter drive. Let's take the lead, and it is a maze out and a night game. What a picture there, man.
This line getting set up. It's a first down play. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Receiver looks it in. It's complete.
6-yard gain there on the opening pass.
One thing we know for sure, I don't know as a play caller, you can make that call without a quarterback who can throw it with a big arm. He put that on a rope.
Quarterback looking to throw it on second down.
Oh, come on. You got to pull that down, dude.
Contact, no flag, brings up third down. Quarterback adjusting now to the defense. Here's the snap. Offense looking to
Martin Stewart with the first down catch on the out route. Nice job.
Ball carrier heads out of bounds, but the pickup is good enough to move the chains.
Of course,
First
they're going
down.
to review it.
Well,
Nice pass, catch, step. Yeah, he's in bounds.
After the review, the play will stand. The Wolverines will line up on 1st and 10.
All right, Jordan Marshall back. Oh, you know what? God, I didn't do the. I'm gonna keep forgetting to do this. I'm gonna have to do it every game. Okay. Sorry, guys. This is me dropping the ball here. Gotta remember to do this when I leave this game. got to remember to do that after this game.
Trying to find some room. It's Marshall.
Oh, he's got the edge. He's got the edge. Oh, just barely got that tackle. 12 yards in the run by Marshall. Nice job.
For a first down.
Of course they're going to pick up the first down by running the football. You think about Michigan, you think so many legacy, incredible backs that they've had over the years. Tim Biakabatuka and Tyrone Wheatley and Leroy Hoare.
Nice moves
so
there
many good backs
by the tight end, Brady Prieskorn.
How aggressive do you get on 1st and 10?
Got Mormon in it. At running back.
Offense moving
on out the slot.
now before the snap. And now the handoff.
They'll
stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. Well, there's that excellent linebacker with a clear path, just running downhill quickly.
You know, I think one of the great things about watching this guy play all year is his vision. He just has great instincts. That time the defensive line ate up all the linemen, freed up the linebacker to get into the
There we go.
backfield.
There we go. There we go. Amarian Stewart with the touchdown catch. Deep pass. Nice job. Lester Wicks to Amarian Stewart. Touchdown,
Just
Michigan.
outstanding execution here by this offense. The offensive line gives the quarterback time, and the quarterback's anticipation was on point. Puts that ball right in the money. The receiver, all he had to do was turn and catch the ball for that touchdown.
All right, we're going in 3rd and 3 on their 30-yard line. We need to convert here.
So now it's 3rd and short from the 30. Chance for the defense to make a
Put the
play
running
here
back
and
on the
perhaps
Texas
force a
route.
field goal attempt. Looking to pick up the first
Talib
down through the air.
with the catch
Catch made on the
and a little bit afterwards.
Downs.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And, man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially
Micah
on
Capano
3rd
with a
down.
nice little juke
give him
move.
the
Or no,
ball.
Jordan Marshall.
They get him
With the
down,
juke
but that's a
move there. Solid.
solid gain.
Just love watching this back run. Gets behind that offensive line, lowers his pads, and gets a nice, solid gain.
I shouldn't have thrown that.
The pass is
There's a flag. What
incomplete,
was the
but
flag?
the flag is down on the field. Let's see what this is all about.
Just a double whammy now.
And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. Offense getting set. 2nd down play here. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Running back grabs it on the screen. Good job of the defense to fight through the blocks on that screen. He's short of the first down marker.
A lot of times this can be a tough play to defend because you're so concerned with getting pressure on the quarterback. But here the defense does a good job of coming off of coverage and chasing down the receiver.
3rd down play here out of the shotgun. Pass caught.
First down.
They
Nice
stopped it
job.
just short. The defense really backed up now. It's 1st and goal. And the Wolverines pick up enough yardage to move the sticks. On the ground, trying to muscle it across the line.
Nice job. Had a great block by the center that just put the defender on the ground. And then Marshall decided to one-up him with a truck. I mean, he just ran through that defender into the end zone. Jordan Marshall with the big touchdown there. Just ran over him.
Third down play for this offense. Pre-snap motion from the offense. They'll go with the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff.
Jordan Marshall with the first down run. 3rd and 4.
It's 3rd and 4. So far, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down this possession. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up to throw.
There we go.
Grab down the middle. It's Silva. They stop him, but it's a...
You know who's got to love this offense picking up so many first downs? Their own defense. Man, when I played, I used to have defensive guys come down and tell me when we'd have a long drive how much it would allow them to rest and go out and play dominant football.
Defense stops him.
4-yard run by Marshall.
Chris, it's the consistency of this back is giving this defense fits. They've got to come up with some changes up front. This guy's already over 50 yards, and if he keeps running the way he is, not only is he having a great day, but it's going to give this quarterback a chance to hit some big plays downfield off play action.
Takes the handoff again. And they finally stop him at a decent
Got it down to the 7-yard line, 3rd and 2.
I'll take that every single time. Offensive line does a nice job up front. This back's vision and ability to get positive yards by lowering his pads on full display.
Touchdown.
Another touchdown by Jordan Marshall.
Still no.
Minute left in the half. We're on our own 22, so we're going to have to try to be quick about this.
And the Michigan offense back out on the field. They've really built momentum in this game. They've been hard to stop. Can the defense make some adjustments, come up with a stop here?
Okay, or we can just get a penalty and screw us over.
Pretty easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course. The guys up front lined up. It's 1st down. He tosses it back. He'll take a deep shot.
Can we get it? Talib with the deep catch and touchdown. Rayshon Talib. This kid's going to be a fucking star.
As the flea flicker executed perfectly, we're seeing more and more of this in college football, Kurt.
Yeah, and it's just one of those gadget plays you like to have in your arsenal. The defense, in this case, they were sucked up and completely out of position after that initial handoff. It allowed the receiver to get behind the coverage and make it for an easy touchdown pass.
I think we've got this game well in hand. 35-0 going into the 4th quarter. 42-7. 42-10.
So this team is beginning to
didn't even come into the game in the second
really
half.
High-quality opposition. You wonder what the ceiling for this group is.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is a football team right now that's playing with a lot of confidence. I like the way that they are progressing.
Jordan Marshall,
we'll just have to see how far they
19 carries, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Advance and see what that does for us. Alright, so we didn't get locked out of anybody. Alright, Corey Rugamba, we are first on his board in his top 5. He is now ready for a visit. Take off, send the house. We'll schedule a visit for the Baylor week. We know all 3 of his pitches, so we're going to go with the program tradition. And therefore we are going to soft sell Hometown Hero. And put the 15 back on top. Manny Hull, we know his pitch is workhorse, so we're going to switch that to a hard sell. And then we will see if there's a good soft sell. Doubt it. Yeah, okay. So we're just going to put on contact friends and family. Silas Romo, we are first on his board in his top 5. Workhorse is his pitch. We'll switch that to a hard sell. Same deal as Hull. So we will add on contact friends and family. Emmanuel Gums, we are first on his board in his top 5. He's ready for a visit. So we're going to schedule that for Akron week. We know championship contender, and we know proximity to home. We're going to sell him on championship contender. And we will see if we can figure out his soft sell. Okay, no, can't be that one. Could be conference spotlight. So we'll go ahead and soft sell that. Calvin Griffin, we're first on his board, top 5. We'll take off Set in the House. We'll schedule a visit. We know playing time. Let's see, we'll schedule that for Akron. We know playing time, playing style, and proximity to home. So we're going to go with playing time. And then we will soft sell time to get to work, since we know that's his favorite pitch. Alright, Ray Harper, we're number 1 on his board, top 5. We know his pitch is football influencer. So we'll hard sell that, see if there's a good soft sell here. We could do grassroots. Yep, so we will. We'll soft sell grassroots here. Enrique Logan, we have a slight lead over Clemson. We're first on his board in top 5. We know his pitch is to the house. So let's hard sell to the house. And our grades are good enough to soft sell TV time for him. Alright, for Henry Kirpikis, very, very slim lead in his top 5 over Arkansas. We know his pitch is not conference spotlight, but what do we know? We know championship contender. That's the only one we know, so let's see. So we know it wasn't conference spotlight, so it's got to be football influencer. And then in that case, maybe we can soft sell, grassroots. Hakeem Virgin, we are first on his board in top 5. We know his sell is not grassroots, so let's see if we can figure out what it is. So we know pro potential and program tradition. So it's got to be football influencer. And then is there a good soft sell here? Could be grassroots. It's going to be grassroots. We're going to soft sell that. Zach Gammon, we are first on his board in top 5. Penn State is looming large. We know his pitch is workhorse, so let's hard sell that. And we can soft sell starter. Jabril Roby, Penn State is chasing him as well. We know his pitch is football influencer. So we'll get that on hard sell. And for soft sell, we could do grassroots. We'll soft sell grassroots. Lamar Hendricks, we are first on his board still in top 8. Not anything else to do there. And we are still first on Enrique Byler's board. We have not dropped off of anybody else's, so we'll just keep it at that. Alright, now we're at home against SMU. They are 1-0. Let's jump into this game. And I'm going to actually use my... This is my personal custom uni outfit.
This will be the largest group of assembled fans in the Western Hemisphere. That's why they need a big house. Welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. What a matchup we have in store. It's still early in the season, but this is a major test for a couple of squads who've gotten out of the gate undefeated. As we'll see a team fresh and ready to go off a bye week, the SMU Mustangs taking on the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse.
All right, big first quarter drive. Let's see if we can get on the board.
Looking for a productive play on first down.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to exit out of this. I'm not going to keep doing this in the game and then have to keep redoing it. I'm just going to fix my depth chart and I'll jump back into the game. Sorry. I keep forgetting to do it and it's just going to keep happening until I can do this. What's the other Talib boy's name? Kenyon Talib. So we got Rayshawn and Kenyon. Where is... Okay, what is going on? Is he injured? Carter Mentz? He's injured, okay. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to be silent while I do this. I just trying to get it done because I'm annoyed right now that I keep forgetting to do this and have to keep doing it in game. Chart set. Now let's jump back into the game.
The victors valiant, the conquering heroes, and they call home the big house. Bathed in maize and blue, welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. What a matchup we have in store. It's still early in the season, but this is a major test for a couple of squads who've gotten out of the gate undefeated. As we'll see a team fresh and ready to go off a bye week, the SMU Mustangs taking on the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack.
All right, here we go.
Here comes the offense on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw.
I mean, if you're just going to give me the underneath drag route, I'll take that all day.
He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. We talk a lot about Michigan building its offense around the running game, but they've always had an effective quarterback who could make plays down the field.
And I think some people hear effective, Reese, and take that as an insult, right? Like, I don't want to hear about my quarterback being effective. I want him to be explosive. I want him to be dynamic. But Michigan doesn't really have those guys most of the time at that quarterback spot. But when they find those good ones, they have great seasons.
They have work in front of them on 3rd and short from the 42. To the ground to try to pick up the first. Third down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
They'll keep it on the ground to the right. They get him stopped at the 30, but not before he gets 5 yards. It's hard to find a place these days that the Big Ten doesn't touch geographically, but there's a lot of crossover with the Big Ten and Big 12 and plenty of bragging rights on the line when their schools meet.
You think about Nebraska once upon a time being in the Big 12, now in the Big 10 too. These conferences also recruit in similar areas too. So this game is interesting, David, because a lot of these players, they're familiar with each other from high school.
Yeah, and I tell you, from experience, you hate that. Like, You get to know each other. You go to the other school. Like, you're now my enemy. You're not my friend anymore. So
Jordan Marshall hitting the edge, getting around it, and touchdown. Nice touchdown off the option play by Jordan Marshall.
Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Offense breaks the huddle. It's third down. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Dropping back, it's Wicks. Right down the middle. He's got
nice catch there.
And he's brought. Boy, his freshman quarterback has a host, and he's seen that thing in there. The Wolverines are rolling down the field. They'll leave it with him. A most efficient pickup of 6 on first down. It's 2nd and 4. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Caught in the backfield. It's Marshall. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Man, there are certain guys that I want to make sure I hone in on, and I do not give them the football in space. And this running back is one of those guys. Really good job by the defense, keeping their eyes on their keys and not letting him sneak out and get any kind of space.
Nice catch out of the backfield. He was on the first down, Jordan Marshall.
And that's a really good example of a quarterback and his intended target both being on the same page. The timing was almost perfect on that play. That's why they were able to convert the third down, now setting up 1st and goal.
He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2.
In now at quarterback. Nope. Not able to get it off before the end.
We reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we played one period.
All right, guys, I'm going to be off mic for a short time. I've got to make a phone call, but I'm still going to keep playing.
Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. They'll try to power it in. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Michigan.
Down in tight to the goal line, you saw some good movement up front by the offensive line, getting a push and giving that running back a chance.
They have work in front of them on 3rd and short from the 42. Trying to pick it up on the ground. On the move at the 30. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make this.
Well, as a defense, you know this is going to be a challenge every time you face this offense. They're one of the 25 best in the nation at getting first downs because they can pick them up in a variety of ways, including running the football. You have got to be physical when facing off against this offense.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Leaves it with the back. And the Wolverines have a first down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people will see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Touchdown Wolverines! And they made it to the house where they found that. And here on second down, they'll send out the field goal unit to try to get 3 before the break. And he'll need a little distance and to bend it just right, a 41-yarder from the left hash. And the kicker delivers the 3 ball to finish it. Third and short, coming from the 34. You wonder if this is 4-down territory. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. All the way down to the 25. Coming to the line of scrimmage on third down. Back to throw, it's Wicks. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan! And the stomping has commenced. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. A defense trying to get a stop on third down from the 44. Quarterback keeps it. They'll move the chains. Good execution. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Off play action. Always a welcome play. The Wolverines will try to put one on the board on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Now on second and goal. Trying to bully their way in. Touchdown Wolverines! And the punishment has been extended. They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had
The defense trying to get a stop on third down from the 44. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Hold it, offense.
This defense. And now on fourth down, they'll try a field goal. A really short kick, but you've got to have that angle just right. It's good. Well, this one had all the suspense of a bug hurtling his way toward a windshield, and they did splatter them. An absolutely dominating performance.
got to give the coaching staff a ton of credit. They obviously had their guys ready to play and motivated right from the opening kick. All three phases we saw, just spectacular football. No mental mistakes, David. You really can't play better than that.
Nah, it's really fun to do this. Come out and just dominate opponents. Start from finish. Nothing to worry about. You just know you're better. You're going to do you, put up a bunch of points, and win by a lot of points.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
Alright, I'm back, guys. That was a fun game. That was a fun game to get through. Now, we did get some commitments here. We'll take a deeper look at them here on the recruiting board. But we are now 3-0 to start the season, and we are at home against the Baylor Bears, the number 13th ranked team in the country. Let's take a look at our recruiting board. So we got a commitment from athlete projected currently as an elusive running back, Manny Hull, a 5-star gem out of Westlake Village, California, 5'11", 202 pounds. He is ranked number 2 in the state of California, number 4 at the position of running back, and number 26 nationally overall. He committed to the Michigan Wolverines over teams like Oregon, USC, Clemson, and Texas. We also got a commitment from Silas Romo, a 5-star gem defensive end out of Venice, Florida, 6'5", 286. He is ranked number 3 in the state of Florida, number 5 at his position defensive end overall, and number 29 nationally overall. He committed to Michigan over Clemson, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. Got a commitment from 5-star offensive tackle Ray Harper out of Washington, Maryland, 6'7", 290 pounds, ranked number 1 in the state of Maryland, number 1 at the tackle position, and number 3 overall nationally. Committed to Michigan over Alabama, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, and Pitt. Got a commitment from Jabril Roby, a 5-star offensive guard out of Dayton, Ohio, 6'1", 320 pounds, ranked the number 1 overall offensive guard, ranked the number 4th prospect in the state of Ohio, and ranked number 24 nationally. He committed to Michigan over Penn State and Notre Dame. Alright. With Rugamba, we are number 1 on his board. He's in his top 5. We've got a decent lead over Penn State, Cincinnati, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. We know his pitch is hometown hero, so we'll get that set up with the hard sell. And do we have a soft sell? We do. So we can soft sell grassroots here. Alright, Emmanuel Gums, we have a very slight lead over Texas A&M and Miami. Looks like we have his pitch, which is Conference Spotlight. And does that give us a good soft sell? No, not with that one. Yes, no. We're not going to have a good soft sell here because 2 of the grades are not great to begin with, so we're just going to have to put on the contact friends and family. Calvin Griffin, we are at the top spot on his board, top 5, although Georgia is quickly gaining on us. We know his preferred pitch is time to get to work. Does that give us a... No, it will... Well, actually, no, we won't have a good... No, we won't have a good soft sell. So we're just going to have to take the 5 off here and put contact friends and family because of the poor playing style grade. Alright, Enrique Logan is in his top 3. We have a decent lead over Clemson and Notre Dame. We have the correct pitches. There's nothing more to do there. What week are we in? We are in week 4. So we've got a visit with him this week as well. We should close out that recruitment. Henry Kirpikis, we are in the first place lead on his board with a slight lead over Arkansas. We have a visit with him this week. We know his pitches. They are already applied. Hakeem Virgin, we have a pretty sizable lead over Tennessee and Clemson. We should see a commitment this week. Nothing more to do there. Zach Gammon, we have a small lead over Penn State. We have a visit with him next week, so if we don't get a visit this week, which I think we will, then we should get it next week. Lamar Hendricks is cut to top 5, and we can take off Send the House. We can schedule a visit. We'll schedule that for the bye week here. And we will sell him on Pro Potential. And then since we know Pro Potential and Program Tradition, we will soft sell Football Influencer as his pitch. We will add the 15 additional back on here. Right now with Byler, we are barely in the lead on his top 5 board over Florida, but now we have the extra hours to be able to reapply with him. So we'll schedule a visit. We'll schedule it for Akron week. We know all 3 of his preferred motivations, so we will sell him on Pro Potential, and we will soft sell Grassroots. Alright, now let's see. None of these have cut to top 5, so we'll just go in order. So Jeff Cummins, we are first on his board. Marshall is involved. We will take off the 5 here. We will put on the 75 hours. Alright. With Braden Cooks, we'll do the same thing here. We'll load up Braden Cooks with the maximum amount of hours. We're currently unopposed on Jackson Atwood and unopposed on Carter Coon, so we're going to go down here to Frank Malvo, and we're going to load him up with hours. Alright, now instead of adding these hours to these guys, we're going to go up here to the ones that we're fighting for that we just scheduled visits with, and we're going to switch the soft sell to a hard sell. We'll do the same thing here with Byler. We'll switch the soft sell to a hard sell. And then we will split up this extra, or actually no, we won't. So we will see if there's a soft sell here. Let's see. That would not be a good soft sell, but this would be. So we will soft sell Grassroots with Lamar Hendricks. Alright, let's jump back out here. Let's jump into the game at home against the Baylor Bears, number 13th ranked. This is a big game, so we're going to go with Big Game Blues.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Big House. This massive crowd assembled here today to cheer on the Wolverines, already chanting, "Go Blue." Today, it's a top 25 matchup. Two teams off to good starts, hoping to build on that and test themselves against another ranked team. As we'll see the number 13 team in the country, the Baylor Bears.
All right, so we got the crowd in maze-out form here. Hopefully that'll help intimidate or provide a bit of an optical illusion to our opponents. All right, we're entering the game, first quarter, a little over 5.5 minutes left in the game. Excuse me. 3rd and 10, huh? Let's try some vert comebacks.
Offense been in reverse here. Now a long way to go to convert this 3rd down. Dropping back, looking to throw for the 1st down.
Nice catch by Stewart with the coverage so tight. He was able to bring that catch in and hold on to it. Nice job. 1st down.
Bring him down, but wow, the freshman showing off the arm strength. The Wolverines offense is on the move now. Snapping it from the red zone now, looking to throw. Lets it fly out of the wide.
There we go. Oh, man, that would have been a great catch.
So we got the Big Ten versus the Big 12, two conferences that have been reshaped dramatically in recent years, Kirk. Always interesting to have these two leagues collide. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, in the Big Ten and the Big 12, they don't have a ton of history together, but they do have some history in recent years. Remember, Ohio State and Oklahoma had a home-and-home. Ohio State beat Oklahoma in Norman, and then the following year, remember Baker Mayfield planting the Oklahoma flag after they upset Ohio State in 2017.
Someone's got to fucking get
into
open.
a playoff berth, so there's no reason why a win like that on either side couldn't do the same.
The offense was moving well, but 2 incompletions sets up a 3rd and 10.
Just what I was hoping you guys would do.
They'll change the pre-snap look now. Drops back, looking to throw for it on 3rd down.
There we go. Micah Kapana from the slot gets open on the slant route and gets a touchdown on 3rd and long. Our guy, Micah Kapana.
Mixing up a lot of different looks to get a read and a gauge of what this defense is up to today, and you're able to put 6 points up on the board. Great start.
Alright, we're in the 2-minute drill in the end of the half. 1st and 10 on our own 44.
1st down play call coming up. How aggressive will it be? Off the play fake, looking to throw. Lets it go quickly.
Nice catch there by Talib.
Diving catch.
Boy, this is a big play by this offense. They go on the post route. It's a perfectly run route. It looks like the ball is going to be overthrown, but how about the receiver laying out to bring that one in for the big game?
And here comes a deep shot.
Here we go. Stewart with the catch. Touchdown.
He makes it to the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
Gotta try to make a stop here. I need to put on my defensive adjustments.
So it's 3rd down, but out comes the field goal unit. They'll try to add 3 points before halftime. So a timeout is called to talk strategy. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays before halftime. Looks like the coach decides to go for 3 points here. Here comes the field goal team.
And he misses it. Ice and the kicker worked.
And after the miss, still down by 7.
All right, 3rd and 2 on their 38. We just need to get a 1st down here. Let's try to punch it across with the running back.
Important 3rd down play coming up. Can they pick up the 1st on the ground? Brought down, but it's past the line.
3rd and 6.
So now it's 3rd and short from the 23. Potential 4-down territory. Let's see what the 3rd down call is. Dropping back, looking to throw for the 1st down.
Nice catch. Nice catch. Nice catch.
He's tackled quickly, but the yardage is good enough for the 1st down.
With this offensive line, you got to tip your cap. They've done everything you would ask of them in taking care of this quarterback. They do it again here on 3rd down, working with that lead. You know the pressure's coming, and they deliver.
Trying to run, it's Marshall. Powerful running into the secondary.
Just bowls through 2 defenders to get into the end zone. Jordan Marshall. Monster run, says Crowning.
Stretching the lead here now in the second half.
All right, we're in the red zone now. 1st and 10 on their 19. We're up by 2 scores.
And the Wolverines offense is back on the field. He'll hand it off.
Got a hole.
That's a
first down.
Before he goes out of bounds.
1st and goal at the 7.
Sticks, more than enough for a first down.
Boy, another nice game by this back. He has had a beautiful day today running the football, just kind of in that zone, and a big reason why they have a nice lead today.
And the tight end goes in motion before the snap. 1st and goal, they'll try to run it in.
Gets it down to the 1-yard line, Jordan Marshall.
What a game for this offensive line of scrimmage. They've been able to enjoy really the tempo going their way because they've been able to run the football. This guy now has 98 yards rushing, a couple more, and he'll be in triple digits. What a great day.
Micah Kapana punches it in for a touchdown.
Michigan.
They're going for it on 4th and 3. Coming out with 4 receivers. We'll go dime set.
Down late, they'll keep the offense on the field trying to chip away at this lead. 4th down, he's throwing for it.
And got the interception. Middle linebacker Cole Sullivan with the interception.
Tackle at the 21, but that's a huge. First down here. Time for one more play before the clock stops for the 2-minute warning. 1st down and goal here. A touchdown just about puts this game on ice. Handoff to the back. They'll keep the clock moving. And now it's the defense that calls timeout here, trying to get organized and preserve as much clock as possible.
Just a 2-yard run by Jordan Marshall there.
Linebackers trying to confuse this offense now. All right, it's 2nd down and goal now for this offense. Trying for the end zone, wanting to get right up the gut.
Got it to the 2-yard line before he was taken down. Jordan Marshall again.
Now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. Urgency here. Got to cut into this lead. It's 3rd down and goal. We go with a direct snap.
Breaks a tackle, just punishes his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jordan Marshall having a great day.
Today. That's his 2nd touchdown. The offensive line doing their job, and he's doing an outstanding job of just reading the defense, finding the hole, and being able to pick up big yards and touchdowns.
All right, they're going for it on 4th and 10. Let's go out here and $3-2.
Down by multiple possessions here. The offense will try to convert here on 4th down. Back to throw again. Looking for his big tight
and another interception, this time by Ellis Robinson the 4th. Can he take it back for a touchdown? Is it a pick 6? It is. Ellis Robinson the 4th with a 55-yard pick 6 interception puts the Wolverines up by another touchdown. The score is now going to be 42-14 after the kick. Minute left in the game.
And they take it back for a touchdown.
And that's game.
Well, frankly, Kirk, we hope for games that are a little bit more suspenseful. This one got out of hand early, ended up being a rout.
That's putting it nicely, Chris, right? This was a complete blowout. A solid performance in all areas by this team. Their coaches should be proud of how they looked out there today.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.
let's advance the week. We had some visits this week. Let's see if anything comes of it. Alright, we did get some commitments. We did not get locked out of anybody, so that's all good news. So let's look. So we got a commitment from 5-star cornerback Enrique Logan out of Lilburn, Georgia. 6 foot, 198. He is ranked number 1 at his position of cornerback, number 2 in the state of Georgia, and number 7 nationally. That's a huge pickup. He committed to Michigan over offers from Clemson and Notre Dame. Then we have a commitment from 5-star off-ball linebacker Henry Kirpikis out of Springdale, Arkansas. He is 6'3", 239 pounds. Ranked number 1 at his position, number 1 in the state of Arkansas, and number 14 nationally. So two commitments here from guys ranked number 1 at their chosen position. He committed to the Michigan Wolverines over the Arkansas Razorbacks, his hometown team. Then we got a commitment from Hakeem Virgin, a 5-star offensive tackle, the 3rd player this week to commit, who is number 1 at his position, out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, 6'5", 299, ranked number 1 at his position of right tackle, number 1 in the state of Virginia, and number 15 nationally. Now we got the number 1 ranked left tackle. Look at this for a second, guys. Number 1 ranked left tackle, number 1 ranked right guard, number 1 ranked cornerback, number 1 ranked middle linebacker, number 1 ranked right tackle. Hakeem Virgin he is 6'5", 299 pounds, committed to Michigan over Tennessee and Clemson. And then we got a commitment from Zach Gammon, who is a 5-star offensive tackle, the number 2 rated left tackle. So we've got the number 1 rated left tackle, the number 1 rated right tackle, and now the number 2 rated left tackle. Zach Gammon out of Delphos, Ohio, 6'6", 292. He's ranked number 2 at his position, number 2 in the state of Ohio, and number 20 nationally. And remember that we did get the number 1 rated player in the state of Ohio as well. No, we didn't. That was last year. Oops, sorry. But he's number 2 ranked player in Ohio. And now Zach Gammon, he is listed as a tackle, but he will be moving inside to guard or center for us. He will be playing interior offensive line. So let's look at the rest of our board. So Corey Rugamba, we are number 1 on his board, and following that visit, we should get a commitment from him. Following this bye week, he just wants to stew on it for a week before making his commitment, but it is imminent. Emmanuel Gums, we are number 1 on his board in his top 5. We have a visit on week 9, although Texas A&M has a visit week 8, and they do have 1 tier higher of pipeline, so that is a little concerning. We do have the right pitch for him, but it is not the greatest pitch. So we're just going to hold on and see what happens, but this could be the one we are most in danger of losing. Calvin Griffin, we are number 1 on his board. We have a visit on week 9. However, Georgia has a visit with him on week 6. So again, this one is one that we could potentially lose out on. We do have time to get to work here, but now because the playing style is better, we can set up a soft sell to pair with this and hopefully give us a little bit more of an edge on recruiting with him. So we are going to soft sell the clutch and see if that helps us keep ahead of Georgia. Lamar Hendricks, we are number 1 in his top 5. We have a visit with him this week for the bye week. We do have a decent lead over Louisville. We should be able to maintain that with our pipeline advantage as well. We do have the correct pitches, nothing more to do there. Enrique Byler, we are number 1 in his top 5. We are the only team with a visit currently scheduled. However, all 4 of the other teams that are currently in on him do have a tier higher of a pipeline lead into him than we do. We know his preferred pitch is grassroots, so we're going to hard sell that. Let's see if there's a good soft sell for us. That one's not going to be great. Let's look. What about this one? Okay, this is a great soft sell. So we're going to soft sell Football Influencer. Jeff Cummings, we are now fighting with Marshall and Boise State for him. There's nothing more to do here. We've got the maximum amount of time on him. Braden Cooks, we are second on his board behind Ohio State. Top 5. We do have better pipeline advantage. He has cut to top 5 now, so let's schedule a visit. We will schedule a visit for the Akron week, week 9. We can sell him on Pro Potential. That's what we'll do. And then let's see if we can get a hard sell, maybe a soft sell on here. So we know Pro Potential and we know Athletic Facilities. So that could be, it has to be Workhorse. So we will hard sell Workhorse. And then we will not soft sell because there's not a good soft sell here, but we will add 25 hours from contacting friends and family. Jackson Atwood, we are unopposed. Carter Kuhn, we are unopposed. Frank Malvo, we are opposed, but there's nothing more we can do here. We have taken the lead on his board, but he still has not cut to top 5 yet, so we just got to wait that out. So now we have excess hours, and we will just put that on the guys that we are unopposed on. Wait, we can take off the 15 and put on the 25. Alright, so we can back out here, and we're going to advance this. Now I'm going to cut the stream off following the recruiting update on the next week. So since this is a bye week, we'll go ahead and just advance it. Alright, we did get some commitments. We're going to take a deeper look on our recruiting board. We have not gotten locked out of anybody yet, so that's good to see. Alright, let's take a look at our commitments. So we did get a commitment from Corey Rugamba, 5-star gem, defensive end out of Brunswick, Ohio, 6'3", 271. He is ranked number 4 at his position nationally, number 3 in the state of Ohio, number 21 overall nationally, and he commits to Michigan over Penn State and Wisconsin. Then we got a commitment from Lamar Hendricks, a 5-star power back out of Flossmoor, Illinois, 5'10", 229, rated number 1 in the state of Illinois, number 3 at his position of running back, and number 25 nationally, committed to Michigan over Louisville. So that's the only we only got those 2 commitments. But looking at Emmanuel Gums, we are currently in the lead. For Emmanuel Gums, what week are we in? We are in week 6. Okay, so we should be able to close out Gums here, because the other 2 that are in the mix for him, Miami and Texas A&M, do not have a visit until week 8 and week 12. We're in week 6, and we should be able to close this out. Now, I can't quite tell. It looks like Miami is getting slightly more influence than we are per week, probably because they have a 5-tier pipeline advantage. But I don't believe that the difference between what they're getting and what we're getting will be enough to overtake us just on this week. So if we're able to get him to commit this week, then we should win this battle. We do have the correct pitches, so there's nothing more to do here. Calvin Griffin, we have unfortunately fallen into the second place, and with Georgia having a visit this week, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to recover on this, but we'll stay in it till we're not, but that is going to be a blow to our recruiting efforts this season. Enrique Byler, we are number 1 on his board, top 5. We have the correct pitches. Nothing more that we can do here. We have a slight lead over Florida. We do have the next visit on week 9. So we'll see how that one plays out. Jeff Cummins has cut to top 5, so we can go ahead and schedule him for a visit. We'll schedule him for a visit to the Toledo week. Pro Potential, let's see, wait, you know what? Hold on. You know what? We're going to schedule him for the next available. It's going to be Miami of Ohio. We'll go Pro Potential is what we'll sell him on this. We will hard sell workhorse, and we will soft sell starter. We will add the 15 on top of that. Alright, Braden Cooks, we have retaken the lead over Ohio State with him. We have the correct pitch. There's not a good soft sell. There's nothing more we can do. We do have a visit on week 9, and we have a 5-tier pipeline lead in, an advantage over Ohio State's 3-tier. So we are looking pretty good on Braden Cooks. On Jackson Atwood, we're still unopposed. We're still unopposed on Carter Kuhn. Frank Malvo has cut to top 5. We have a decent lead over the competition on him. We will schedule a visit for him on Miami of Ohio week. We know championship contender, we know coach prestige, and we know brand exposure. We will sell him on brand exposure. We will hard sell to the house, and we do not have a good enough grade on playing time to get a soft sell here, so we're just going to add the 25 hours for contact friends and family. Nothing else to do here at this point, so this is where we're going to cut the stream. So I just want to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that for the algorithm and to help your boy out. You can follow me on all social media at Kinetic615. Check out the GoFundMe link in the profile for my YouTube channel. It's also in my Twitter profile, and you can catch me on Monday nights on the Maze Madman channel on YouTube, talking Michigan Wolverines football with the Maze Madman and the Boxing Maniac. And as always, guys, again, I appreciate you tuning in, and go Blue.